All right, we're starting off Bourbon Fridays here because I like bourbon. And you can be damn sure I'm going to get some content out of it. Starting a little early tonight, 8:21, pre-bedtime, which is a big win. Going to be on WIP with Vince Quinn at 11, so got to bounce back by then. Going to do mini reviews, cocktails, taste test, blind tasting, blind testing, testing blind. You get the idea. Tonight, we're going to start with the Jefferson's Chef's Collaboration. For those of you who have been reading the site for a while, follow me on Twitter, you know that I'm a big Jefferson's guy, big Jefferson's Ocean. The Weeded Voyage 15 is spectacular. You can still find it in some fine wine and good spirits. I would highly recommend it. Just don't go to my local one because I want to buy up like the rest of the shelf, provided my wife doesn't kill me because I bought 2 in the online lottery thinking they were going to sell it quickly and they didn't. Anyway, Chef's Collaboration. It's a partnership between Jefferson's, Trey Zeller, who's their master distiller or master blender, and I don't know, some cook in Louisville who has an Asian restaurant. They wanted to find a bourbon that would pair really well with spicy Asian food so it wasn't overpowered. So they blended like 6-year-old bourbon, I believe, might be a little bit older, with rye. It's like a 60-40 blend. Doesn't really matter. You get a little bit of bourbon and rye. It's actually really tasty up front. The back end, though, burns more so than most. The rye really comes through, and I think part of that is because it has to compete with the spicy food they like to pair it with. They want it to pair with food, and they don't want it to get lost whenever you're eating, even if it's peppery, spicy, whatever. Fine. The problem is it's a $40 or $49 bottle, which isn't bad for a Jefferson special release. Usually like they're between $69, nice, and $89. $89, you can get the Jefferson's Reserve Pritchard Hill. Highly recommended if you could find one. It's aged in a Pritchard Hill wine cask, Cabernet cask. To me, outside of the ocean, maybe even including the ocean, that's one of the best Jeffersons you can buy. Really good with a steak, really good. Anyway, so it is a little bit cheaper. It's the regular Jefferson's brand, not the Reserve. So it's a lower Jefferson's blended with rye. Not my favorite sipper because it comes on hot at the end. The flavors up front are so good and mild, and then it just punches you in the neck at the end. So kind of wasn't expecting that. Does pair okay with food, but what it does do is make an excellent old-fashioned. You could put rye in an old-fashioned, so that works. And then on top of that, you get that heat at the end. So if you have ice that's melting, you got a little bit of the sugar water in there, the bitters, the orange. Those things usually compete with the bourbon. I actually really like this because it has a nice subtle flavor up front. But the backbone of the spicy rye lasts you pretty much until the ice is like 80+%, 82% melted. You still get that heat off the rye, which is nice because it's subdued in the old fashioned, but it still stands up, which is kind of what they were going for here with the food. So Chef's Collaboration, it's in stores now. It's in fine wine and good spirits. I don't know where else you could find it. It's not my favorite Jefferson's by any stretch. It's not really a sipper, but if you're looking for a good cocktail bourbon / rye, you're looking for a good old fashioned, this might be my favorite old fashioned bourbon, like no joke. I'm sure you could throw a $100 bottle of something in an old-fashioned, it would be great, but no one wants to do that. So, to be fair, for $49, this is like, I'd say the most expensive bourbon you want to put in an old-fashioned, otherwise you're just wasting money, but it's a good middle ground of quality spirit, but not too high quality that you're wasting money, but it holds up and you can actually taste it. So, I actually poured a little on top of the watery orange peel as a glass number 2, and that works well too because you get some of the flavors, and honestly after you have one, it takes a little bit of that burn off the back end. But yeah, big bourbon season is upon us, so get ready for these every Friday.